Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Derek, and today I'm doing my review on my 20 volt Bauer fan. It's not just 20 volts, it's also 110 volts. You can plug in an extension cord there and run it off of normal power, which I think is one of the coolest features about this fan. So right off the bat, I'm going to start off with a fully charged 1.5 amp hour battery, and I'm just going to time how long it will last on the 1.5 amp hour battery. With the 3 amp hour batteries that are out right now, we'll be able to just assume that it's probably just about double. So I only have to use up one battery and save myself some time. There is a high and a low setting here on the switch. We're just going to put it on high so that it runs out of battery faster, and that's probably, honestly, in my opinion, what most people are probably going to be setting this fan at. I'm going to do some other work while this test is going. I'm just going to set a timer on my phone. I'm going to turn the camera off, and then I'll come back when the fan shuts off, and we'll see how long it lasts on a 1.5 amp hour battery. Alright guys, so it just shut off, and it lasted 2 hours and about 23 minutes because it took a few seconds for me to start the timer after I turned on the fan and then turn off the camera. So about 2.5 hours, give or take 15 minutes, is probably about what you'll get out of a 1.5 amp hour battery on your Bauer fan. Alright guys, so now that the test is over, I want to just talk a little bit about the fan. I'll just start with the things that I don't like about it. The first thing I'd like to mention is that I wish that they would have set up the fan, you know, when they were building it in a way that I could check how much battery life, or how much life the battery had left while it was still on the fan, because you have to take it and slide it in against the back here. Now, obviously that was probably just to make it economical. The thing costs like 30 or 40 bucks. I don't really remember how much it was. I've had it for a little, maybe a couple of months, but it wasn't a whole lot. And of course, it was probably just cheaper just to do it that way. But it would have been nice if you could have seen how much life your battery had left. So the other complaint that I kind of have about it is I wish that I had a better range of motion with the fan, as in I could go like a full 360 degrees with it. That is as far backwards as it'll go, and this is as far forwards as it'll go. So I wish that there was a way to make it blow straight down, essentially, or at least more than this, because it won't go any further down than this. And I wish that I could point it down, because I could put it up on the shelf above and point it down on me, or I could point it down on projects of things that I want to have dry a little faster or whatever, like paint and polyurethane and epoxies or whatever. But Again, I kind of know why they did that. You know, if I was able to just turn this around and around and around 360 degrees, I'd be twisting the wires that come through up into the motor. And so obviously you can't have that. And so they kind of had to do something to stop that. But it would have been nice if they just made a way to where you could have gotten a little bit more downward tilt with it. I would have just appreciated that. So next, I guess we'll hit some of the neutral things about it. It has two settings. There's a high and a low, as I've already mentioned before. The button feels pretty good. There's pretty good positive resistance there. It feels like a decent quality button. So since we're talking a little bit about quality and stuff, I guess I'll just mention the actual plastic that this thing's all built out of. It's definitely not like a high impact resistant plastic like what your Milwaukee tools are made out of. Much like the rest of the Bauer tools, it's not, you know, some super high quality plastic like I said, but it definitely doesn't feel like super garbage cheap plastic like your Drillmaster stuff is made out of or anything like that. So much like all the Bauer tools, it's just made out of a good, you know, value minded material. So on to the things that I really like about it, and that is the ability to plug it into your wall outlets. You can plug in an extension cord to your wall, run it to this, and power it all day long off of that, as well as keeping it portable like I use it for, to keep myself cool around my shop without any cords with the battery. Keeping it portable as you'd want with your cordless tools. So that's low with it plugged in. And that was high with it plugged in. I do have to say that with a fully charged battery, and it might be a little bit different if I was putting a 3 amp hour in, because I know some of my Bauer tools perform better with the higher amp hour batteries. rather than the smaller ones. They perform a little bit better, so the fan might be the same, but with a fully charged 1.5 amp hour battery, it definitely seems to run a little bit faster off of the 110 volts rather than the 20 volt DC power. That's just something to note. Not that I think it's a bad thing or anything. I definitely appreciate that you can plug it into a wall as well as just use the battery. So one other thing to mention is all the different mounting points that they have that I really appreciate. They've got multiple mounting points to where you can just screw the thing straight into a wall. They've also got points where you can put the screws in just perfectly. You can set this on it and then lock it in and it'll stay hanging on the wall, and then you can just pop it off whenever you need to. There's also this hook, which seems almost more for storage than for hooking to actually use it because, well, it's pointed straight up in the air and I'm not really sure what purpose that would serve. But lots of different options to hang and mount the fan. So I mentioned it before, but this fan's really no different. Bauer tools, they're all just really well priced. I just think that you're just getting a whole lot for the money that you're spending, which is why I'm in them. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble on about a freaking fan. So I appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you next time.